My fiancé declared, "I can't marry someone who doesn't share my faith." I nodded. I respect that. Then I started dating someone from her church who actually appreciated my beliefs. Her shock when the pastor asked why I'd be perfect for Sarah. I, 32 male, was supposed to get married next spring. 3 weeks ago, my fiancée Rebecca, 29, sat me down for what she called a serious conversation about our future. We'd been together for 4 years, engaged for 1. The wedding planning was in full swing. Venue booked, caterer selected, invitations designed. "Daniel," she said, using her serious voice, "I've been praying about this, and God has shown me that I can't marry someone who doesn't fully share my faith." I blinked. "We've been together 4 years. You knew I wasn't religious when we met." "I thought you'd change," she said, tears forming. "I thought love would bring you to Christ. But you still refuse to get baptized, you only come to church occasionally, and you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus." Here's the thing. I'm agnostic. Always have been. I respect religion, went to church with her once a month to be supportive, participated in church events, donated to their charity drives. Her family knew this. Her pastor knew this. Everyone knew this. "So what are you saying?" I asked. "You need to commit to Christ before our wedding." "Real commitment. Baptism, weekly church, Bible study, the whole thing. Or..." She paused dramatically. "I can't marry you." The entitlement hit different. 4 years together, 1 year engaged, deposits paid, and now she drops this ultimatum? I took a deep breath. "Rebecca, I respect your faith. Always have. But I won't fake a religious conversion for anyone, not even you." "Then we're done," she said, sliding off the engagement ring. "I need a godly husband." "I understand," I said calmly. "I respect your decision." She seemed shocked by my calm acceptance. Expected me to beg, maybe? Fight for us? Nah. That Sunday, she announced our breakup at church, painting herself as the faithful woman who chose God over earthly love. Very dramatic, very public. The congregation ate it up, praising her strength and dedication. What she didn't expect? For me to show up the following Sunday. See, during our relationship, I'd made genuine friends at that church. Good people who accepted me despite my beliefs. One of them was Sarah, 27F, who ran the church's community outreach program. We'd worked together on several charity events, food drives, homeless shelter volunteering, stuff like that. Sarah texted me after hearing about the breakup. "Hey, heard what happened. That was really unfair to you. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here." We grabbed coffee, then dinner, then another dinner. Sarah was different. She was deeply religious but never pushed it on anyone. When I told her I was agnostic, she just said, "Cool, I respect that. Your actions show your character better than any label." 2 weeks after Rebecca's ultimatum, Sarah and I were officially dating. The meltdown was instant. Update 1: Holy hell, the entitlement escalated fast. Last Sunday was something. Sarah and I walked into church together, not holding hands or anything obvious, just together. The whispers started immediately. Rebecca was on the worship team, lit up front with her guitar. She saw us, missed a chord, and nearly dropped her pick. Her face went from confusion to rage to fake composure in about 3 seconds. After service, she cornered me in the parking lot while Sarah was talking to someone else. "What are you doing here?" she hissed. "Attending church with friends," I said simply. "You said I should be more involved in the faith community. You're not even Christian. Neither was I when we dated. Didn't stop you then. Are you with Sarah?" Her voice pitched higher. "We're getting to know each other." "You can't date someone from my church." I raised an eyebrow. "Your church? Pretty sure it's God's church, and last I checked, you broke up with me for not being Christian enough. Sarah accepts me as I am. She's using you to get back at me." "Rebecca, not everything is about you." The next part was beautiful. Pastor Williams walked over, big smile on his face. "Daniel, so good to see you here. Sarah mentioned you've been helping with the youth center renovation?" See, while Rebecca was posting Instagram stories about choosing God over man and waiting for my Boaz, I'd been actually helping the church. The youth center needed repairs, and I'm pretty handy with construction. Spent my Saturdays there with Sarah and other volunteers. "Happy to help, Pastor," I said. "You know," Pastor Williams said, looking between Rebecca and me, "Sarah's lucky to have found someone with such a servant's heart. You two complement each other beautifully. She has the faith, you have the works." As James says, faith without works is dead. Rebecca's mouth opened and closed like a fish. The pastor just accidentally endorsed my relationship with Sarah while low-key calling out Rebecca. But the real entitlement came Tuesday. I got a text from Rebecca's mom, Patricia. "Daniel, this is highly inappropriate. You're clearly dating Sarah to hurt Rebecca. A real man would respect boundaries and find a different church. Rebecca is devastated. Do the right thing and leave." I didn't respond, but I did screenshot it. Then came the social media campaign. Rebecca posted a long, dramatic post about wolves in sheep's clothing, and when the devil uses familiar faces to test your faith. Her friends commented with Bible verses about temptation and staying strong. Sarah saw it and laughed. "She's really making this about her, huh?" The thing is, Sarah had her own history with Rebecca. Turns out, Rebecca had previously tried to get Sarah removed from the outreach program because she thought Sarah was too liberal with helping people. Sarah helped everyone: atheists, Muslims, LGBTQ folks, whoever needed it. Rebecca thought the church should only help deserving Christians. "She's always been like this," Sarah told me over dinner. "Performative faith, everything's about appearing godly rather than actually being kind." Wednesday, Rebecca's dad, Robert, called me. "Son," he started. "I'm not your son, Robert. You need to stop this nonsense. Rebecca made a mistake. She wants you back. She broke up with me 3 weeks ago for not being Christian enough. She was testing you. Women do that. You failed by giving up so easily." "Testing me? Robert, she gave me an ultimatum about converting. That's not a test. That's manipulation. Just stop seeing Sarah. Come to dinner Sunday. We'll work this out." "No thanks. I'm good." "You're throwing away 4 years for some church tramp?" And there it is. The good Christian family showing true colors. "Don't call Sarah names, Robert. We're done here." I hung up and blocked his number. Thursday, things got wilder. Rebecca showed up at my apartment at 10 p.m., dressed in the little black dress I used to love. "We need to talk," she said, trying to push past me. "No, we don't." I didn't let her in. "I made a mistake. I see that now. God told me to forgive you." "Forgive me? For what?" "For not being ready for baptism. I was too pushy. I forgive you and I'm ready to work through this." The audacity. "Rebecca, you broke up with me. I've moved on." "With Sarah? She's not even pretty. She's beautiful. More importantly, she's genuine. I'll tell everyone at church you seduced her to get back at me." "Go ahead. Everyone saw you dump me publicly. Everyone sees me volunteering every weekend. Everyone sees Sarah happy. Make yourself look petty." She actually stomped her foot like a toddler. "You're supposed to fight for me." "Why would I fight for someone who gave me an ultimatum about my fundamental beliefs?" "Because you love me." "Loved, past tense. You killed that with your ultimatum." She started crying. Ugly crying. Mascara running, nose snotty, the works. "You can't marry Sarah. She can't have kids." That stopped me cold. "What?" "She had cancer as a teenager. She's infertile. She can't give you children." "How is that any of your business? I'm trying to warn you. Get off my property, Rebecca. Now." She left, but not before screaming, "You'll regret this." Narrator: I did not regret it. Update 2. The extinction burst. Yeah, I learned that term from Reddit, was nuclear. Sunday sermon was about fornication and temptation. Pastor Williams looked uncomfortable the entire time he delivered it. Found out later that Rebecca's family had pushed hard for this topic, claiming there was inappropriate behavior happening in the congregation. After service, in front of everyone, Rebecca stood up during announcement time. "I have a prayer request," she said, voice shaking with fake emotion. "For those who've lost their way and are living in sin." Everyone turned to look at Sarah and me. We were sitting together, not even touching, just existing in the same pew. Pastor Williams cleared his throat. "Rebecca, perhaps we can discuss private prayer requests after." "No," she interrupted. "The congregation needs to know that Daniel and Sarah are living in sin. They're cohabitating." Record scratch moment. The entire church went silent. Sarah stood up. "We're not living together, Rebecca. Stop lying." "I saw his car at your apartment." "Yeah, fixing your broken garage door, with 3 other volunteers." "Would you like to see the receipt for the parts?" I pulled out my phone and held up the hardware store receipt, dated and timed. Also had photos of the volunteer crew. Rebecca's face went red. "Well, they're still fornicating." Pastor Williams had enough. "Rebecca, that's enough. Please sit down." "But Pastor, sit down." She sat, looking shocked. Pastor Williams never raised his voice. After church, the real chaos started. Patricia approached Sarah in the bathroom and threw water in her face. Actual water, like a soap opera. "You home-wrecking witch," Patricia screamed. Sarah, dripping wet, stayed calm. "Patricia, your daughter broke up with Daniel, publicly, in front of everyone. I started dating him after that." "You were waiting in the wings. I was minding my own business. Your daughter made her choice." Other women in the bathroom were recording. It went viral in our church's Facebook group within hours. Monday, I got served with a cease and desist letter. Not a real one. Rebecca had apparently made it herself on LegalZoom. It demanded I stop harassing her by attending her place of worship and dating her friends. I took it to my cousin, who's an actual lawyer. He laughed for 5 solid minutes. "This is toilet paper," he said. "She can't ban you from a public church. She can't control who you date. Want me to send a real letter about her harassment?" "Nah, just keep it on file." Tuesday was when she played really dirty. She called my workplace, claiming to be concerned about my mental health and suggesting I might be unstable after our breakup. My boss called me in, looking bemused. "Daniel, someone called claiming you're having a mental breakdown?" I explained the situation. Showed him the texts, the fake cease and desist, everything. He shook his head. "Your ex is psycho. Need me to call security about blocking her number?" Please. But the peak entitlement came Thursday. Rebecca's entire family, parents, her brother Thomas, 31M, and her sister Ruth, 25F, showed up at the youth center while Sarah and I were painting. "Family meeting," Patricia announced like she had authority. The other volunteers stopped working to watch the show. Robert stepped forward. "Daniel, you've had your fun. You've made your point. Now stop this childish revenge and come back to Rebecca." "This isn't revenge. I'm just living my life." Thomas tried to look threatening. "You're disrespecting our family." "Your family? How?" "By parading around with that woman at our church." Sarah put down her paintbrush. "That woman has a name, and this is my church too. Been attending since before Rebecca moved here." Ruth gasped. "Don't you talk to my brother that way. I'll talk to anyone any way I please when they're being disrespectful." Patricia pointed at me. "You were going to be our son-in-law. We welcomed you. And then your daughter dumped me for not converting. Remember? She gave you a choice. An ultimatum. There's a difference." Rebecca pushed through her family. "Just admit it. You're dating her to hurt me." "Rebecca, honestly, you're not that important. I'm dating Sarah because she's amazing. You're just mad at someone you know." "I want her kicked out of the church." That's when Pastor Williams walked in, having heard the commotion. "What's going on here?" Patricia immediately went into victim mode. "Pastor, these two are causing division in the church." Pastor Williams looked tired. "The only division I see is you 5 confronting 2 volunteers who are donating their time to fix our youth center." "But they're dating?" "Yes, and Daniel isn't a member of this church, so there's no fornication rules that apply. Sarah is a member in good standing. Unless you have actual biblical grounds for complaint, I suggest you leave these volunteers to their work." Robert puffed up. "We tithe significantly to this church." "And that buys you exactly nothing extra," Pastor Williams said firmly. "This isn't a country club." The family left in a huff, but not before Rebecca said loudly, "This church has lost its way when it supports sin." What Sarah called after her, "Judge not, lest ye be judged, Rebecca." Final update. The last month has been enlightening. Rebecca's family tried to stage a church coup. They gathered a group of about 12 families who were concerned about the moral direction of the church. They presented a petition to remove Pastor Williams for failing to uphold biblical values. The church board reviewed it and found that most of the signatures were from people who barely attended or didn't tithe. The vote was 47-3 against the petition. Rebecca's family rage quit the church, made a big scene during their last Sunday, with Patricia actually standing up mid-sermon to announce they were leaving due to moral corruption. Pastor Williams just said, "May God be with you on your journey," and continued preaching. The best part? They tried to start their own home church. Posted all over Facebook about their pure, uncompromised worship. 7 people showed up to the first meeting. 3 were just there for the free food. Meanwhile, Sarah and I are doing great. We're taking things slow, actually getting to know each other without the pressure of wedding planning hanging over everything. She told me about her cancer journey, her infertility, and how Rebecca had actually used that information to try to discourage guys from dating her before. She told 3 different men that I was damaged goods, Sarah said. Always with fake concern, of course. Last week I ran into Rebecca at a grocery store. She was with some guy I didn't recognize. "Daniel," she said, all fake friendly. "This is Brad, my boyfriend." Brad looked uncomfortable as hell. "Poor dude." "Cool," I said and kept walking. She literally followed me. "He's a doctor. Well, chiropractor. But still." "That's nice, Rebecca." "We're getting married in 3 months," I stopped. 3 months? You've known him?" 6 weeks. When God tells you, you know. Brad looked like he wanted to disappear into the cereal aisle. "Good luck with that," I said and walked away. She called after me. "I'm happy. Really happy. Happier than I ever was with you." "Sure, Rebecca. Sure." Yesterday, her mom called me from a different number. I answered because I didn't recognize it. "Daniel?" "It's Patricia. I wanted to apologize." Plot twist. Rebecca and Brad's engagement imploded. He found out about your breakup, how recent it was, how she acted after. We've realized we might have enabled some problematic behavior. Might have. She's in therapy now. Real therapy, not just prayer counseling. The therapist says she has issues with control and manipulation. Sounds about right. "I'm sorry for how we treated you and Sarah. You're a good man. Rebecca, she needs help. I hope she gets it. Are you and Sarah happy?" "Very. Good. That's good." She hung up. Later heard from church friends that Rebecca had a full breakdown when Brad left, admitted she'd been trying to recreate our relationship, but with someone she could control. As for me and Sarah, we're planning a mission trip to help build houses. Not as a couples thing or a faith thing for me, just 2 people who care about helping others. She doesn't need me to share her faith. She just needs me to share her values. Pastor Williams pulled me aside last Sunday. "You know, Daniel, you might not be Christian, but you live the values better than many who claim to be. Sarah's lucky to have you." "I'm lucky to have her." "Also," he grinned, "thank you for exposing the rot. Sometimes God uses unexpected instruments." "Pretty sure that wasn't God, Pastor. Just a dude who refused to be manipulated," he laughed. "Maybe. Or maybe that's exactly how God works." Rebecca texts me occasionally, always deleted unread. Her family still attends their home church of 5 people. Brad apparently warned other guys about her in their young professionals group. And me? I'm volunteering every weekend, dating an amazing woman who accepts me exactly as I am and living my best agnostic life. Funny how refusing to fake a religious conversion led me to finding something actually sacred, genuine acceptance and real love. Rebecca wanted me to find God. Instead, I found Sarah. I'd say I traded up.